You are watching Platinum Northwest TV News. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Philadelphia Mangoeng. Let's take a look now at the leading top stories. First up, the ConCourt has ruled that former President Jacob Zuma is not eligible to stand for the May polls, and Provincial Commissioner has urged employees to utilize the services of the Employee Health and Wellness following incidents of alleged suicides by two members. In the business news, Rolex joins the list of companies exiting South Africa. And in the sports news, Prudence Sekgodiso achieved her first ever victory in a Wanda Diamond League meeting. We begin here. The Constitutional Court has ruled that former President Jacob Zuma is in no way eligible for a parliamentary seat, ending weeks of political wrangling over the contentious constitutional matter. The court delivered judgment in the Electoral Commission's appeal of the Electoral Court order that allowed Zuma to remain in the Mkhonto we Sizwe party's candidate list. The Commission approached the Apex Court to seek clarity on the interpretation of a section of the Constitution that relates to grounds on which people are eligible or ineligible to stand for elections. The Apex Court heard arguments earlier this month on the correct interpretation of Section 47(1)(e) of the Constitution, which governs who qualifies for the membership of the National Assembly. The IC case sought to bring finality to the correct interpretation and whether it applies to the former president who was sentenced to 15 months in prison for contempt in the same Apex Court.
The following order is made. The applicant is granted leave to appeal directly to this court. It is declared that Mr. Zuma was convicted of an offence and sentenced to more than 12-month imprisonment for purposes of Section 47(1)(e) of the Constitution and is accordingly not eligible to be a member of and not qualified to stand for election to the National Assembly until 5 years have elapsed since the completion of his sentence. The order of the Electoral Court is set aside and replaced with the following, and I quote, "The appeal is dismissed," close quotes. The counter-application is dismissed. There is no order as to costs in this court. I hand down the judgment.
President Cyril Ramaphosa had this to say.
Well, all I can say is that I've noted the decision of the Constitutional Court. Constitutional Court is the highest decision-making body in our country, and we've given the Constitutional Court the right to arbitrate disputes between citizens, and they have ruled, and that's what it is, and I have noted that.
Thank you so much.
In other news, the Northwest Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Sello has urged members of the South African Police Service Employee Health and Wellness to use available services to get psychosocial support. The call comes after two members allegedly killed themselves over the weekend. In the Ngakamudiri Molema district, warrant officer aged 58 allegedly shot and killed his wife, 46, then turned the gun onto himself. The incident occurred in the early hours of Saturday morning. Now, the Lumanyaneng police registered a murder and an inquest docket for investigation. According to information, the couple was found in the bedroom. The wife was certified dead at the scene, while the husband was taken to the Mahikeng Provincial Hospital for further medical treatment. However, he too was certified dead at the hospital. The motive of the incident is not yet known. In the Dr. Kenneth Kaunda district, a 50-year-old lieutenant colonel attached to the Provincial Tactical Response Team allegedly shot and killed himself along the New Markavi Road just outside Potchefstroom on Sunday morning. No foul play has been suspected and an inquest docket has been opened for investigation. In more news, a 47-year-old Northwest primary school teacher appeared in the Wolmaranstad Magistrates Court in connection with the alleged rape of two minors aged 12 and 14. Northwest Police spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Funani said that the man appeared in court on Friday. Funani said that the teacher from Leeudoringstad was arrested after the mother and the principal opened a case at a local police station on Tuesday. According to Funani, it is alleged that the teacher would ask the two minors to help him carry books or go fetch something in his office where he performed these sexual acts. Funani also said that the teacher was subsequently arrested at the school on Thursday. He was remanded in custody and will appear again in court on Tuesday for a formal bail application. With that said, let's now take a look at the business news. In the business news, Rolex has closed its affiliate office in Sandton, Johannesburg, adding to the growing list of international companies that are scaling back or exiting South Africa. The luxury Swiss watch manufacturer is closing its office because the local markets and conjuncture have changed, no longer warranting the presence of an official Rolex affiliate. Despite planning to close its office in Sandton in June, the group's products will still be available via its official retailer network. Thus, Rolex joins a long list of international companies that have recently made headlines for exiting the country. Meanwhile, Shell plans to sell its downstream business in South Africa, which includes 600 petrol stations in the country, as part of a broader restructuring. The group will still, however, operate its upstream businesses across the country. Now, it should be noted that South Africa is still considered an attractive destination for many international investors. Now, Amazon Web Service, for example, plans to invest 30 billion rand in South Africa over the next decade. The broader group is also opening a 4.5 billion rand head office in Cape Town and recently launched its online marketplace in South Africa. And that's all from the business news. Up next, we wrap up with the sports. In athletic news now, South Africa's Prudence Sekgodiso achieved her first ever victory in a Wanda Diamond League meeting, winning the 800-meter at a meeting in Marrakesh in a world-leading 1 minute 57 seconds 26 split seconds on Sunday. Sekgodiso had been undefeated so far this year on home turf, but this was the 22-year-old's first international race of the season, and she duly raised her game. Olympic finalist Habitam Alemu of Ethiopia led through the first lap, but Sekgodiso timed her finish to perfection to emerge victorious. Let's take a look.
And Alemu's really pushing hard, stretching hard. Lovely action from Sekgodiso. Has she got a pace to change up into here? Does she look for a track on the inside, or is she going to have to come round because Alemu's going to try and shut her off? Alemu then has just got nothing, can't respond. Sekgodiso, though, goes just creeping away. He's going to get a couple of meters win here. It's Sekgodiso and Alemu. It's going to be pretty quick. 1:57.26, fastest in the world this year, and a new personal best, and that will be a huge confidence booster for this young lady who's getting better and better all the time.
Now, South Africa's sprint sensation Akani Simbine set a new 100-meter world record, clocking a superb 9.90 second world lead, winning the men's 100-meter at the Atlanta City of the games that were held in the US. Now, Simbine will now return to South Africa to train ahead of his next event, that's the Diamond League, which will be held in Oslo, Norway at the end of May.
Oh, really quick start there from Omanyala. I thought maybe he jumped the gun, but he gets away pretty well. Second to left. Omanyala going well. Simbine trying to come back, and Simbine through the second half eases away to a 1 metre lead. Fabulous last 25 from Simbine. The South African takes the men's 100 metres. Omanyala led through the first half, but was it an African 1-2? We're waiting for confirmation of that. It was very tight indeed.
And this way we're going to have to leave it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. The team will be back again tomorrow evening. Till then, good night and take care.